Hello and welcome to the Garden Gate. This is Scud from scudpaisho.com. That is the Garden Gate. Head to scudpaisho.com to start playing Pai Sho online. Join the Garden Gate community. We're out there playing Pai Sho every day, living Uncle Iroh's dream. So today I wanted to talk to you about Vagabond Pai Sho. So once you're here, go ahead and start a new game, Vagabond Pai Sho. Let's turn that board just right. Okay, Vagabond Pai Sho. The games that are on scudpaisho.com, they are, well, there's various games that are completely different games from each other. Some kind of variations on like a solitaire version of Scud Pai Sho, things like that. But Vagabond Pai Sho is a gem of a game, and it's a chess-like game in that the goal is to capture a certain one of your opponent's pieces. And in this game, that is the White Lotus. So let's take a look at an overview of the rules and some of the tiles. Well, all of the tiles. So you know what we're talking about if we're talking about Vagabond Pai Sho. And let's dive in and get you ready to jump into the game and try it out yourself. So Vagabond Pai Sho, it's a Pai Sho game that comes from a fan fiction story that is just beautifully done, and they created a beautiful game that is, the game is a gem. The story is, I call it impressively good, and just the way it builds and expands on the world we see in Avatar, and the way that the story moves along through this the thread of Pai Sho, and it's impressively good. It's beautiful, and you can check it out from right here. This link in the help tab of Vagabond Pai Sho game. So in Vagabond Pai Sho, you win if you capture your opponent's White Lotus tile, and on a turn you can either place a new tile onto the board or move a tile that you've already got there. And the twist here is that you can't capture flower tiles, which in the game there are a few tiles called flower tiles, until your White Lotus tile is on the board. And you can't capture non-flower tiles until both players have their White Lotus tiles out. So that is a twist that gives this game just such a unique experience to it in how it plays. And let's keep going here. So like it says here, you can hover over any tile to see how it works, read more about it, or click this link to read through the whole rules, and you can get started. So let's check out some of these tiles and see what they do, and see what it looks like to click around onto the board and enjoy a game of Vagabond Pai Sho. Alright, here we go. So the White Lotus tile. You win if you capture your opponent's White Lotus. So what is this tile? It's a flower tile. It can only move one space once it's on the board, like this. So tiles are going to move along the diagonals, and so the White Lotus, it only moves one space, and it's as exciting as it sounds. It's a lot like a king in chess, but note the White Lotus can't capture tiles, even when all the White Lotuses, or each player's White Lotus is out. The White Lotus can't capture anything. All right, next up we'll talk about the wheel. So this is the other piece in the game that's a lot like a piece from chess, in that it's a lot like a bishop. The wheel can jump across the diagonals, basically move straight up, down, left, and right across that diagonals, which does mean once you put a wheel down, it is locked into that set of diagonals. So the host's wheel tile here is on these. It can jump on these set of diagonals. It's never going to be able to reach this space, for example, and the guest's tile over there is on this set of diagonals, so it will never be able to run into this wheel tile and capture it if it could, which the wheel tile is. We'll read over here in the help tab. It can capture other tiles once the White Lotuses are out. So it's interesting in that You can choose to put your wheels on the same set of diagonals, or you can choose to have them on the the opposite set of diagonals, and sometimes sometimes one is good, sometimes the other is good. So you get to experiment and learn how to best use those wheel tiles. Alright, next up we have the Bison and the Chrysanthemum. So the Chrysanthemum is a flower tile. It can't move once you place it down, and what it does is it freezes the opponent's Sky Bison tiles in place when it's directly adjacent to those opponent's Sky Bison. So here we see the Sky Bison can move up to 6 spaces, and it can turn as many times as it wants to as it goes. And so it's a pretty powerful piece. It can capture, and when they are played onto the board, they start in these corner spaces. We'll call these the temple spaces. They start up in the temples. And the Sky Bison is, alright, so we see we can move that one. I'll click on this one, and we can't move this one. It is frozen in place by the Chrysanthemum. So the Sky Bison, pretty powerful piece. And also we have the Sky Bison Zone. Sky Bison will have a territorial zone which will block out opponent Sky Bison pieces from moving inside that zone, which is just as the 6 spaces around the Sky Bison where it would be able to move. The opponent's Sky Bison tiles can't enter in there unless the Sky Bison hasn't left the temple or it's currently frozen in place by a Chrysanthemum, which we can take a look at that here. Now this Sky Bison of the guest can move its full range of motion. It's not being zoned out by the host's bison there. Okay, next up is, alright, we're going to look at the Fire Lily and the Dragon. So the Fire Lily, when it's played on the board, it can be placed anywhere on the board. So let's take a look at placing the Dragon. The Dragon can be placed around the Fire Lily in within a 5-space zone around the Fire Lily, and once we place it down, it can then move anywhere within that same zone. So it's placed down over here, it can jump anywhere, it can jump all the way over there, and it can capture. It is it's a fiery beast, it's a dragon, and it can do a lot of damage. But once this Fire Lily is gone, the dragon depends on that, and then it won't be able to move if that Fire Lily's gone. So it can do a lot of damage. It's powerful, but it's vulnerable at the same time. So so be on the lookout and enjoy the dragon. Learn how to use that to its full effect. And let's go ahead and take a look at the last piece, which is the Badger Mole. So a good feature of ScudPaiSho.com is the sandbox. You can go ahead and sandbox a game to pick up wherever you left off in the replay and start clicking around there. So let's see, it's the okay, so it's the guest's turn where they could capture the Fire Lily tile, the flower tile that's out there of the host. But if we just let the host protect it with a Badger Mole, the Badger Mole will protect a flower tile that is directly adjacent to it, so where it can't be captured unless the Badger Mole is taken care of first or moved away. So now we see the wheel can't take the Fire Lily. So the other thing a Badger Mole can do is jump to a flower tile that is in its line of sight. So when a Badger Mole is on the board, it can move 1 space or jump to a flower tile, whether it's a friendly or opposing piece. So it can move 1 space, or this Badger Mole can jump to a flower tile that's in its line of sight down the diagonal from it with nothing in between here. So so it can either jump to the opposing piece down here or jump to the friendly piece up here, which the White Lotus, the Badger Mole, is going to protect that flower tile from capture. So that's important. And the just purely defensive piece, and it can move slow with the 1 space, or it can jump across the whole board. It's every tile in this game gives the game such a unique feel and twist, and it is just it's a gem. Like I said, exciting to play and fun to watch, and you should get involved. Start playing this game, and join in, start up a game, and invite your friends, and have fun. We'll see you at the Garden Gate